Hi kittens. So here we have the weekend, January 14th, 15th. So let's see kind of like what we have here. So Queen of Cups reversed. She is the one who usually gets to be overly emotional. So it's one of those things that you might have a blast from the past. You might be reviewing old photographs from the past, and that can make you very nostalgic, or melancholy is kind of like the name of the day, especially kind of like Saturday morning. You might start a little bit like with the blues, and but Queen of Cups can also represent somebody who is highly manipulative. If you have somebody in your life, or you're dealing with somebody who deals with somebody like that in their life, that could be the thing, right? So this person kind of like bursts in tears and controls that way, or controls emotionally, blackmailing with the kids. This is kind of like where that area is. So it's kind of like very, very tiring, and maybe this is why we have this Four of Swords. And Four of Swords to me always spells R and R, rest and relaxation, rest and relaxation. Four of Swords is also kind of like a feeling when you have that you dodge something. Oh my gosh, I dodged this one. Like realization, especially if you're a man, this can add up to that you have been dating somebody and it was getting very serious, almost like to the point of deciding this destiny. Just as we saw yesterday, it was like that motion forward. And basically what happened was you seen somebody revealed you their character, and you are realizing, oh my gosh, I just can't believe it, this is the same person, right? Queen of Cups in a general reading doesn't have to be a woman, but it does represent very feminine principles, somebody who is kind of like dealing with those tricks, right? Females are not very physically strong, so kind of like they had to develop different ways of manipulation. And then we have Prince of Swords. To me, this is kind of like always very kind of like different, because Prince of Swords always talks about a principle of righteousness. Like, right, swords are always about words, justice, rightfulness, and something, a lesson that we need to learn in this life. In this deck, this is actually a knight, right? So Knight of Swords. So it's usually somebody who is very impulsive and impatient, but also somebody who is bursting with energy. Maybe this energy needs to be better directed. Maybe you have the energy, but you are not. It's kind of like, it's so much. And sometimes when people have too much energy, they resort to exercise a kind of like positive way, or rolling up their sleeves and getting some chores done, getting some work done, or like, I mean, kind of like attacking certain things that have been kind of like on the back burner for a while. But it can have negative outlets, such as like outbursts of anger and blame and that kind of like things. So be very, very careful, because this person's thoughts are scattered, and it's almost like a magnet, like that's going like buzzing like this. So just trying to kind of like butt horns with them, like then they have the focus, and they can kind of like focus it on you. So it's almost like the best to just step aside and let them kind of like vent somewhere else. So don't get kind of like sucked into their whirlwind of activity and energy and even negativity, possibly, right? It also kind of like indicates with all of this stuff that you have to make a decision yourself. It's not going to be joint decision. You're not, you will initially be, and then you won't be influenced by some kind of like emotion, some appeal kind of like made to you, because you're going to be questioning that appeal. Your freedom, your independence is really, really important. But also, because you're searching for it, it is likely that you're going to make some kind of like mistakes on your way, because possibly there's like some kind of like knee-jerk reaction, or some kind of like reckless kind of like way of expressing yourself. So also, if you have a teenager, somebody who is very rebellious, who is fighting for their independence, that's kind of like where we see that. And it can also suggest that you need to really slow down, because these two cards together can really talk about it, because otherwise you may be at risk for serious burn exhaustion. So if this is the case, it means that this emotional person could be you, that you're starting to experience some possibly depressive episodes, and this is not necessarily because it's, let's say, winter, but this is like basically because you have pushed yourself through the limits. So be really careful when you're kind of like dealing with this, right? So clearly, like, I mean, allow this time for yourself. This is weekend is clearly telling you, get your warm slippers, get your blankie, wrap yourself up, watch favorite movies, old movie that you have seen before, that you know. Avoid any murder dramas or anything like that. Just allow some kind of like positivity to feed your soul. All right, kittens, I'll see you on Monday. Have a beautiful weekend, and I love you.